Millhaven does not sleep. It just gets quieter about what it is doing. Some cities rest at night. This one just changes shifts. The bars close, the docks open. And somewhere in the hours between, the people who work while the rest of us dream get left alone with whatever is actually moving through this town after dark. 3 in the morning, warehouse district. Building 6 was empty enough that I could hear my own footsteps land on the concrete before the sound had even finished traveling back to me. A man named Arthur Peel was slumped against a stack of shipping pallets, and he was not getting up again. 41 years old, night watchman, 19 years on this stretch of docks. The kind of tenure where you stop seeing a building and start feeling it instead. Every uneven floor panel, every blind corner, every place a pallet jack rolls wrong if you are careless. Men like that do not trip over what they have memorized. Not usually. His sister told me later that he picked up doubles whenever they were offered. Said he was saving for something. Never told her what, only that it was close. Whatever it was, he ran out of shifts before he got there. Officer Reyes met me at the tape. Young, sharp, still willing to say the easy thing out loud before he has talked himself out of it. He told me it looked like Arthur lost his footing near the loading dock and hit his head going down. Case closed before anyone had opened it. Accidents are Millhaven's favorite word. It is a forgiving one. Nobody has to ask another question once the answer is already written down for them. I have learned to distrust convenient words. I knelt beside him. The wound at his temple was consistent with a fall onto a pallet edge. Consistent is not the same as certain, and it never has been. What caught my attention was not the wound. It was the cargo strapping lying beside him. Loose strapping gets kicked around during unloading. It ends up in knots, in piles, in nothing that means a thing. This cord was not tossed. It was coiled tight and laid flat against the concrete, the way you set something down on purpose. Nobody straightens cord on their way out of an accident, I told him. Reyes offered the obvious out. Maybe it got kicked that way during cleanup. I did not buy it. Cleanup crews do not tie knots. Cleanup crews do not care. I photographed the coil before anyone could nudge it aside without meaning to. And that is when I looked closer at the wound itself and saw the second thing. A thin residue, pale and crusted along the edge of the wound. At a glance, you would call it packing dust. Every surface in a building like this collects it. But packing dust does not crystallize into a shape. It does not curl in on itself, tight and deliberate, coiling inward like a shell pulled closed. I had seen that shape before. 11 days earlier, on a woman's wrist, down at the harbor, carved clean into skin that had already stopped feeling anything. 6 turns, coiled tight. Her name was Renee Alvarez, and I had not stopped thinking about her since. I did not say her name out loud in that warehouse. Not to Reyes, not to the coroner, not fully even to myself. Some thoughts stay folded up until you are ready to look at them straight on. Dr. Okafor arrived for the recovery, brisk as always, already reaching for the easy ruling. Blunt force trauma consistent with the fall, she said. Accidental, unless I gave her a reason to call it something else. Give me 48 hours, I said. She did not look up from her clipboard. For a warehouse watchman who tripped near a loading dock. For a man who did not trip, 19 years on these docks. And Arthur Peel had started keeping a notebook. Not for the job, for himself. Container numbers, timestamps. Which crews came and went after midnight, when the official manifest said this building was locked and empty. Somebody had been moving cargo that was not supposed to exist, and Arthur Peel had started writing down the truth of it, one shift at a time. Pull every shipment through Building 6 for the last month, I told him. I want manifests. I want driver logs. I want to know who signed off on the graveyard shifts. Reyes caught on faster than I expected. You think this goes higher than a dead watchman, he said. I think Arthur Peel saw something he was not supposed to see. And somebody made sure he stopped seeing it. It took 2 days of quiet digging, but the paper trail led to a name. A foreman named Cutler, who had been signing off on shipments that never made it onto any book anywhere. A simple enough motive underneath it. Money moving through the dark, and a watchman who would not stop looking directly at it. Cutler folded fast once I laid the ledgers in front of him. Admitted to the confrontation, admitted to the shove that sent Arthur into the pallets and the floor and the silence after. He begged me to believe it was an accident, right up until the words stopped being useful to either of us. I never meant to kill him, he said. It was one shove. One, as if the number of shoves was ever the point. He admitted, quieter still, to arranging the body afterward, so it would raid clean to whoever found it first. That should have been the end of it. Motive means confession. A man in a holding cell finally telling the truth about a lie he built badly. Millhaven allows you an ending like that, every so often. But a shove into a pallet stack does not explain a spiral crystallized into a wound. That takes patience. That takes an intention Cutler never once showed me, in an entire conversation built on panic. So before I closed the file, I went back through Arthur's notebook one more time and lined every entry up against Cutler's shipment logs, side by side, hour by hour. Almost all of it matched. Cutler's crew, Cutler's containers, Cutler's careless hours, almost. 4 entries did not match anything. 4 nights over the last 2 months, when Arthur logged a vehicle at the rear gate and footsteps crossing to the east dock and nothing else. No shipment, no manifest, no name that Cutler's crew or anyone else on the payroll would admit to owning. Somebody else had been walking through Building 6 on their own schedule, for reasons that had nothing to do with cargo fraud. And Arthur Peel, doing his job a little too well, had written every one of those visits down without ever knowing what he was actually looking at. Cutler killed Arthur Peel over money. I believe that. I watched him confess to it, and I believed every miserable word. But Cutler did not carve that spiral. He does not have that kind of patience in him, and residue like that does not happen in a panic, mid-shove, in under a second. Somebody stood over that body afterward. Somebody who was already in that warehouse that night for reasons of his own, and found Arthur already gone by the time he got there. And left his mark anyway, on a man he never had to kill, as if the ritual mattered to him more than who happened to be lying underneath it. Under magnification, the residue shows 4 turns, maybe 5. Half of it sheared away when Arthur's head struck the pallet edge, and I will not have a clean count until the lab finishes what my eyes cannot. 4 or 5, numbers I already know. Fenwick Sound was 1 turn, 14 years ago. Ashdown was 2, 12 years back. Corwin Bay was 3, 6 years after that. Then a gap I have never once been able to fill. Then 5, 4 years ago. Ruled a suicide by a coroner who had no reason to look twice. Then Rene Alvarez, 11 days ago. 6. I built that sequence believing it was a timeline. One victim leading to the next, in order across 14 years. If this residue turned out to be 4, it should belong to an old case I have not found yet. Something from 6 years back. sitting quiet in a file cabinet somewhere between Corwin Bay and the one they called a suicide. It should not belong to a man who was alive 11 days ago and dead by Tuesday. Unless the numbers were never about when. Unless they mean something else to him entirely. Something I have not earned the right to understand yet. And he has simply chosen now to use one out of order. Which means I am not looking for a pattern that moves forward through time, one careful year after another. I am looking for a man who reaches back into his own work whenever he wants, and touches whichever part of it he chooses, for reasons that have nothing to do with my sense of order at all. I stood in that warehouse a long time after the body was gone, looking out past the loading dock doors into the dark where the security lights do not reach. And I had the distinct, unshakable feeling that I was not the first person to stand exactly where I was standing that night. Only the first one willing to admit it out loud. I sealed the residue photograph in an envelope, the same as I did with the last one, and put it in the drawer where I keep the things I am not ready to name. It is getting harder to close that drawer lately. It no longer feels like it is holding curiosities. It feels like it is holding a countdown, and I am the only one in Millhaven who has started to hear it ticking. Because somewhere in this city, there is a name attached to 4 spiral turns that I still have not found. And for the first time since I opened this file, I am no longer certain whether I am hunting him or whether he has simply been waiting to see how long it would take me to notice he was hunting me first.